Hey guys, what's going on? It's Justin, and I'm back with another frequently asked question from this week. This one actually came up like 3 times this week, which was really weird. Thought that was interesting. Another coach asked me my thoughts on this as a client brought it up to them, and then two of my clients brought this same question up. So I thought this was like a perfect video to shoot. Anyhow, this one is all about hey, I constantly seem to reward myself with food, particularly on the weekends. How can I stop viewing food as a reward, and how can I stop rewarding myself with food? I think this is a great question. So, the first thing I want to step into is kind of like some of the other themes in the videos is we don't necessarily we don't necessarily need to stop rewarding ourselves with food. Rewarding ourselves with food isn't necessarily a problem or a bad thing. I think we can get too wrapped up in that. Sometimes rewarding ourselves with food is like the perfect fit. Sometimes you do something amazing and you just want to go out and reward yourself with some food with some family, friends, loved ones, or something awesome happens and that's how you want to celebrate. You want to celebrate with some food and reward yourself with that way, and that's okay. I want to encourage you, if that's if you want to reward yourself with food, that's okay. It's something that you can do. I think the only time we get into an issue is if it's the only way we reward ourselves. If that's the only thing we do to celebrate our wins and our successes, we want to look into maybe alternative ways to do this. So I think there's a couple approaches here that we can take. One is to kind of take a look at what you're doing right now. Do you feel like you might be overly restricting with food, and therefore food ends up being a reward? So like throughout the week, Monday through Friday, maybe you've cut carbs from your diet or something like that, or you're avoiding some treats and stuff throughout the week or whatever, and then by the end of the week you feel like you deserve a reward because that's something that you've done. So you're feeling a little bit deprived and from some foods that you enjoy. And if that's the case, then we might run into an issue where we're constantly rewarding ourselves with food and possibly even overeating with those rewards. So that's something to touch base on. And if that's the case, something that can be helpful here is creating schedules, like time specific containers, so that enjoying reward foods or treat foods don't bleed into your life 24/7. So what you can do is you can schedule like indulgent treats that you enjoy, but also feel like less guilty and anxious about. So maybe you could create like a flexible weekly meal plan that includes a base of like healthy meals, but plus intentional pleasures like a fun-sized candy bar after lunch or a small bowl of ice cream after dinner or something like that. You can schedule like treats for the same time every day, such as 3 p.m. like work break or a few squares of chocolate. Something along those lines as well too. You could even organize like a weekly or bi-weekly evening with your friends, complete with like chips and maybe even a favorite adult beverage or something like that at a nice like social event. So those are some things where you can actually kind of create an opportunity where you can enjoy and reward yourselves with some foods like that as well too. The last thing I wanted to touch base on is maybe check in with yourself and ask yourself what you're kind of hoping to achieve with the reward foods. Like, what are you actually rewarding, and how do you hope to feel, or how does that reward food make you feel? And are there alternative things that make you feel a similar way, and to experiment with those? So kind of like I've mentioned in the past in a previous video, is we don't necessarily want to stop rewarding ourselves with food. That's not the goal. It's maybe to try something else, to slow down and get us to try something else before rewarding ourselves with food. So maybe I don't know, maybe it's playing a little bit of like a favorite video game or something like that. And if you still want to reward yourself with food, go for it. But at least you tried something else first. And there could be multiple ways to do this. You'll have to brainstorm yourself and see what comes up for you. But I hope this short video was helpful. Again, these are kind of like off the cuff, unedited stuff, so they might be a little all over the place. But I hope you found it helpful, and we'll talk to you guys soon.